Okay, let's do it. I will just go to my reference. Well, I take this design with some wheel designs. Add my references. Okay, always linked. The goal for this project is to have a main gemstone here and also have a small gemstone here and use these shapes that can be created with Gravity Sketch like here, to give a kind of power effect linking, using radial symmetry. This is one of my favorite too. I really like it. So let's do it. I will first bring my gemstones. I will take this main gemstone with 11 millimeter. I will say millimeter. Before to start my sketch, I prefer to bring my gemstones and then to see which possibilities I can have. I will take my small gemstone. It will be 4 millimeters. Let me just organize my layers because here I have my references. You lock and okay. Here will be gemstones. Okay, and I will create another one we'll call sketch. Another one that we'll call shapes. Okay, for now I can organize like that. This one will be main gemstone and this one will be gemstones. So this one it's okay and I will lock and I will hide for now because I need to import the millimeter. And okay, now this one I will select and I will bring down. Now I can bring to gemstones layer here. I can delete. Okay, I would like to have 8 gemstones around or even more. I will do different try to see how different can be. So I will start with this one with 8 gemstones. What I will use to have this model as radial as well, I will use this technique. I will convert to subdivision object my shape here, but I will turn off subdivision level because if I will merge with this one with my gemstone, it will become also smooth. This is something I don't want because gemstone have all these facets, What I will do now, I will edit and I will merge this one and that's it. Now I have my gemstones. This I don't need anymore and now I have my gemstones here. So if I want to edit and change symmetry now, I can how much I want. This is very nice. So for example, I can try 6 gemstones for this example. So let's do it now. I can change the color and lock my gemstones layer as well. Come to my sketch layer. I will see how I can create. I decided to create 3 different designs, based on my references. So I have this one, a little bit more rounded with more curves, and another one in a little bit hard surface style. So I decided to create this model. I think it will fit much more better than the others, and also it's more closer to these references as well. So okay, let's start with this one. I will take some measures now because there is some constraints on generally design, and we really need to take some care because on production could be a little bit hard and sometimes not possible to produce. So for example, now I created a new layer, measures. Let me put in red. Okay. And now here I move 5 centimeters. It's quite good, not too big for a jelly design, for a pendant. Here almost 6, I guess. Yeah, okay. So that's nice. And also about thickness, for production must be minimum 1 millimeter because after polish, etc. So it will remove a little bit when polishing. So this is something that really needs to pay attention. I will create with ribbon. So here I decided to put a little bit low and then bring a kind of different setting gemstones will be weld with this part and also will help on this back side because when you put here on the chest, you see it won't be too bad. And there will have a kind of space between the back side until this gemstone because gemstones need light to shine better. So if I used this like that and make a hole, for example, here to make a hole here in the middle, would to bring more thickness here than to have this hole here. So it won't be so nice. So now it will be better because can have a different kind of setting gemstone here, for example. For this part, I will do a little bit different. So I will use mirror tool and I will put 0 here because I really would like to have the same size. This one it's perfect because it's a mirror with this side, so then you can bake it the mirror later and then do the same thing, to have this polar symmetry. Okay, so I keep it my shape here on this layer shape, and I just copy this one to a new layer. What I will do now, I will edit this one and I will bake mirror, and again I will create a polar symmetry here without mirror this time, and then I will convert subdivision object. I will edit. So here I created this shape. I have two options here that normally I can use. I can just create like this, but it will be quite sharp, you know, on borders. If I would like to have something more corner rounded, you know, I can just use Keyshot option and say to this part to be rounded corner. But if I will 3D print this, it will be sharp like that, you know. Even if on production, when we produce a jelly, at the end on finishing, it will be polished. So this shape won't be like that. It will be more rounded as well, you know. But if I will 3D print, it will be like that. So what I do normally, I bake, and then if I would like to be a little bit more harder, so I add a loop, and that's all. Again, all modifications I'm doing in polar symmetry, but I could do this only on this part, and then when I really finish it all this, I could create a new polar symmetry and then merge them to have a more precise result. Okay, so now we have volume, so the shape is quite good, and now I would like to connect all pieces together because, as you can see, this part it's flying and is not connected at all. So I would like to connect this. What I will do, I will change this shape here and I will create a hole to connect pieces, all these pieces together. And this part will touch this one because on casting they will be connected. I will probably do something on this shape as well. Okay, so now I will take some measures. 1 millimeter can be good. So they are all connected. It gives a feeling that these pieces are flying in the space. Now I will work with setting gemstones. What I will do, I will create one prefab because it will be more precise, as I said before. So I will take 4 millimeters again. I will add this to my prefab, so now I can use it here. What I will try now is to give this radial again, but sometimes it crash. So let's see if we can do something. Gemstones here, and I will add. Now I can't because I will need to do in another way. I will do ribbon. Now I will do the same, but I will keep subdivision level. And now that's good. So, and I will do the same thing with this gemstone as well, but in a different way. Okay, now I have my two different gemstone setting. So that's it. If I bring my first sketch, you can see. Now I will just to bring some chain examples, on this one I will make square one. Now I have my design, quite nice. Can come to my viewports as I did before. Can see all details. Now I will export for Keyshot for rendering. I imported my file on Keyshot. Okay, I will just create a new camera and save this position. With this free one, I can turn and see my model. I'm using my VR glass, so it's not like with the mouse. Okay, everything's fine, everything's here. I can apply my materials. I already have some gemstones here. I sold this model completely in yellow gold. The main gemstones and the small ones are diamonds, and this medium gemstones will be sapphire. I will apply first my gemstone here, and I always double click on my gemstone, and here I always ignore intersecting geometry because sometimes it can affect, for example, can modeling something and it's a little bit inside gemstone, and then it can affect as well. So I will put this material and bring to my gemstones here. Okay, and I will take my sapphire gemstone and I will bring the transparency distance can influence on the size of my model. So sometimes if I import, for example, if I come here and come to import dialog, and here in geometry I always put centimeters because it's more easy to visualize, and my graphic card can zoom in and out without any problem, because I could see that if I put on millimeters, I'm a little bit limited about camera zoom, so focus distance as well. So I always put on centimeters, because if I put on meters, when I give some kind of depth of field, I must to change value too much. On centimeters, it's quite good. So now I can see, for example, here I can put a little bit less to make my gemstones more darker. This sapphire will be more darker. But before that, I will apply all materials and my environment, and then I will see if I will need to put a little bit more color or not. So now I will go to metal. Here I have my materials, and I will find yellow gold. Okay, yellow gold polished, and I will bring it here, and the same material I will bring here. What I love with Keyshot, it's this drag and drop materials. It's quite easy. So here we are. I think I forgot something. Now I would like to show something I've said before from Gravity Sketch, for example, about the difference between, you see, when I gave this corner, rounded corner on Gravity Sketch, and this piece wasn't, it was sharp. So what I do normally, if I would like to have something more rounded, I will select the object, and on properties I come, and here on rounded edges, I always put some, for example, and a little bit more rounded. You see the difference between this one and this one. So I can do the same here and put 0.02. So here as well, you can see it's more rounded. So it changes from what we can do in Gravity Sketch, and then, but again, it's just for rendering. If I will 3D print, it won't be the same thing. So I will do the same with all of them. So now I will add environment. This one is quite nice, and I can add some brightness to 0.3, and contrast I put 0 to have more light. And when it shines too much, it reflects too much, for image is not so nice, because gold can't reflect so much like that in real life. So I always put some wholeness just to bring some blur. So that's nice. Let's see my camera here. If I will turn, yeah, I have some deep here, so I can add some depth of field on my camera to bring a little bit more professional rendering, like a real photography, you know. So this is something nice that can do. So let's bring back to my camera here. I will unlock, and then I will bring a depth of field. I will click on target to set my focus distance, and I will click here, and I will put a little bit more stop and see if it's maybe too much, because you can see it's blurry on Gemstone here. So I will put 20, and now you can see only a little bit more far, but not too much. So you can see Gemstone shining, but chains are blurry a little bit. Let's try to change 15 and see how it can be. Okay, it looks nice. What I will do, I will do a first rendering as image to see how it will be. So let's render. Okay, so now I'm back to Gravity Sketch after rendering, and I organized a little bit my layers in a new file. Some of them I saved as prefab to import here and to work better without too much difficulties about layers. So I started with my references here, where I gave a little bit some ideas from what I would like to do. Then I created my 3 versions of my sketches without going too deep on it, because normally I don't. Normally I create direct on flat shape, then I can have some ideas, a little bit on the same way, but I can understand the need of having sketches as references. So from this version I created this one. And then after that, I have gemstones with setting gemstones and the volume for my 3D model. Okay. And after that, I exported this 3D model to Keyshot and had my renders here on different positions from my 3D model. And then after that, I created a animation. So normally this is the workflow I have for create my jelly designs. I could add some different versions, with different materials, gemstones color as well. So that's it. Thank you very much.